Hello, everyone. We're live. So this is Xena Movie Campaign with a very special broadcast. We have two guests from Xenite Retreat, and we'll go ahead and do introductions and then tell you all about the exciting retreat. And there's also a very big announcement that'll be at the end of the broadcast, so stay tuned. I'm Ariel Wetzel, Xena Movie Campaign, and I'll have the other XMC folks introduce themselves and then Xenite Retreat.
I'm Jimmy Humphreys, Xena Movie Campaign.
I'm Rose McFadden, also Xena Movie Campaign.
Hello, I'm Penny Kavanagh. I am from Xenite Retreat.
And I'm Jackie Larson from Xenite Retreat.
Wonderful. Well, it's very nice to have you here on the broadcast. Thank you for setting aside time to meet with us and showing us your awesome banner.
Thank you for having us.
I'm looking forward to seeing it in person. And just to be clear, Jimmy, Rose, and I are attending the retreat, and we're super excited. So we wanted to bring you all a little bit more information. So we have some questions for Penny and Jackie, and the first one is, what is the Xenite Retreat, and what is the focus or aim?
What is the Xenite Retreat? Well, I guess the basic answer is that it is a 3-day getaway in the beautiful California mountains. And it's, I don't know, it's full of Xenites, lots of fun, plenty of events and activities. It's kind of like, how would you describe it, Jackie?
Summer camp for adults.
Yes,
for Xena adults.
Yeah, that's the bones of it, basically.
Cool.
All right, awesome. How is the Xenite Retreat going to differ from XenaCons?
Well, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second and say, please don't mind our dog Julius.
Hi, Julius!
Much like his namesake, causes trouble where it's not wanted. I'm sorry, what was the question?
How is the Xenite Retreat going to differ from XenaCons?
Well, in a way, it's going to be quite similar to XenaCons, but it's also going to be very, very different. Do you want to go on how it's going to be different?
So it's going to be some structure, but it will be, if you want to relax, you can relax. If you want to do high ropes and swim and party, you can do that too. Jules, get down. Sorry.
He just wants to be on the internet. Yeah, so that's the big difference is going to be that it's quite unstructured. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You can drop into events at any time. The ways that it's similar to the conventions, there's going to be maybe a lot of familiar faces if you've been to cons before, lots of friendly people if you've never been to a convention. That doesn't matter. There's going to be people who are going to say, hi, I don't know you, but give me a hug, because that's what Xenites do. We're going to be doing a lot of fundraising for charity. That's always a lot of fun. There's going to be some special guests like conventions. There's going to be alcohol. There's going to be, yeah, I guess campfires. Campfires, that's what's different. Campfires and s'mores and, yeah, lack of sleep, that's pretty similar too. So all the great bits about the convention without all of the waiting in lines and paying way too much money for things that you'll basically get all-inclusive in our package.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so fun. I can't wait.
So we really love the idea, and we were just kind of wondering what motivated you to organize the retreat.
We've been talking about this for quite some time. Quite a number of years ago, there was something called Camp Amazon that I don't believe ever quite took off. And that was going to take place in New Zealand, and it was basically going to be like camping on Bethel's Beach and chariot races and all these amazing stuff that I was like, where do I sign up and who do I throw my money at? And it never really happened as far as I'm aware. No. So then I started thinking about like how cool it would be to do like a camp out in like an Amazon jungle style thing. And my original idea was that we all had like different color paintballs and we were all part of different tribes and we slept in trees and in tents. And, you know, like the neutral zone was in the water where you could go and wash and be friendly with people. But the second you stepped out of the water, you were up for grabs to get shot. And I thought, well, that might not be appealing to everybody because we do have a diverse...
Some of us are a little older.
And so we kind of boiled down to, well, I loved camp as a kid. I freaking loved summer camp. I was the first one up those high ropes, and you know, always the last one to bed, like chatting with your friends or short sheeting their beds and stuff like that. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool to do something sort of like a camp, like a Amazon camp, but just enough
Creature comforts
that people would come. And the last convention, when we were told that there would be no more Xena conventions, that was a pretty hard pill to swallow. And I think that if it wasn't for planning the Xenite Retreat the year before, I would have been a blubbering mess.
Yeah.
I don't know how it sounds pathetic, but I don't really know how I would have kind of coped if there wasn't my annual get-together. So knowing that we can still come and get together, still do all the fun things that we love, seeing friends, drinking, watching Xena, making jokes, you know, all of that stuff you can still do. Yeah, you just, I guess, you don't have to be up at a specific time if you don't want to, or, yeah. So that's kind of how it came about. We were chatting on a Facebook thread. Actually, I didn't really even know Natalia all that well. She's one of our planners, and so I believe, I'm not exactly sure who was in the thread. I know Natalia was, can't think who else, but we're all saying, you know, we should do a get-together. And I thought, well, hell, why not? Like, I've been trying to plan this for a while now. This is the moment. Let's do it. So we started a little secret Facebook group, and I invited a couple of girls in that I'd known from previous things, Ash, Sam, and Jackie, of course. And we just kind of, it started from there. We threw all our ideas in a couple of different threads, and picked out the ludicrous ones and threw them away, and then boiled down to something that we could do. It was reasonable.
Oh, that's amazing. And the three of us were all at the final Xena convention, and I can't speak for Jimmy or Rose, but I feel like I had so much hope at that con, knowing that we would see each other again in a year's time.
It definitely made it easier to deal with, I think. I seriously would have been a crying mess in the corner of the room. And they would have been like, honey, come cut the cake. And I'd be like, I didn't want to cut the cake. That means it's over.
Yeah, I remember thinking, oh, I'll see you all next year. Bye, everyone. See you at the retreat. And that, you know, it wasn't a sad thing. It was a happy thing.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask, so for those who've already bought their tickets, we've been getting emails about what Xenite Nation we've been assigned. But for those who haven't bought their ticket yet or are still thinking, oh, maybe I want to go, what are the Xenite Nations exactly?
What are the Xenite Nations? If you've read Harry Potter, it's kind of like the houses from Hogwarts, you know, like, so we're all one big community, but then we're separated out into smaller communities as well, which gives people the opportunity to get to know someone they might not necessarily bump into at the retreat during every day. And I think that once you give someone a label or a crest, it makes them kind of proud, and they get to band together under that nation. So that was the gist of it, I guess. That's kind of where it came from.
Yep.
So we have 5 nations?
5.
5. We've got Gabrielle's Bards.
Anthony's Amazons.
Anthony's Amazons.
Xena's Warriors. This is my quiz.
She has to remember.
Bards, Warriors, Amazons, Cutthroats.
Callisto's Cutthroats.
And...
Come on, we were just watching that episode earlier.
Oh, the Valkyries.
Brynhild's Valkyries. So basically you get assigned to a nation, and then at the retreat we're actually going to have like a little allegiance ceremony where, you know, you put your hand on your heart and you say, I am a proud warrior, I pledge to Xena, I will uphold all these things, blah, blah, blah. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then we're going to have a little, actually I think Sam and Ash came up with this at was it Dallas? Is that where you were?
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas, so Rose might know a little bit about this, but we're going to have where each nation gets to choose their champion on the first day, and then you've got a couple of minutes to make your champion a suit of armor out of newspaper, like we give you bits of paper and tape. You make them armor, and then you thrust them into the ring, and they have to stand on one leg, and they've got a big, like, giant inflatable pool cue or Q-tip, or chobos. You can pick whether you want a staff or chobos. They're both inflatable, and you basically beat the crap out of the champion from the other nation, and then whoever wins or whoever loses is the first person to put their foot down, and the winner gets points to go towards their nation. And so this is another thing that in the nation they're all working towards a common goal, which is to be the winner. Because similarly to Harry Potter, where they win the House Cup, we've got a nation cup. I believe it's not a cup, but it's kind of similar. So at the end of the weekend, the nation with the most points wins that honor. You can get points a different way, like lots of different ways. One is by being the champion and beating the other champions. The other way you can do it is to buy points, which is, I mean, it's an option if people want to just do that, because I'd be like, $100 to the buds. So you can buy points, and the money goes to charity. Or you can get points by doing things throughout the course of the weekend that are acts of bravery, courage, daring, stepping outside your comfort zone, acts of kindness. So if you see someone doing something really nice for someone else, you can go up to them and be like, hey, what nation are you in? Oh, you're in the Valkyries? I'm just going to award the Valkyries 50 points. And then you go up to a volunteer and you log the points. And so it kind of works that way. You can get points for doing cool things throughout the course of the weekend.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
The big theater dork in me is super excited about this.
It's fun. I love good competition. So, yeah.
Now, for any Xenites who've been to the cons, they're going to be a bit familiar with the camaraderie and sort of the feel that you're going for. What would you say to Xenites who have never been to a con and are sort of intimidated about going or unsure?
Oh, so that's a great question. When I went to my first convention in 2002, I knew nobody. I didn't even know anybody on Facebook, because Facebook didn't exist, but I knew nothing, knew nobody.
There were dinosaurs in the front row.
There were dinosaurs in the front row, exactly. And I walked down into the lobby, and there was a sign that said, a whole bunch of us are going to meet up to go out for dinner. And so I said, okay, I'll go. I don't know these people, but I'll go. And they are some of my best friends to this day after that first, just walking up to strangers in the hotel lobby. And we went out to eat, and Tarina said, dessert's on me. So she bought dessert for everybody. So when you go in, you are meeting people of a like mind, and they are just, Xenites are just wonderful people, and you will make friends. You will have friends. You will go in with knowing nobody on Friday morning, and by the time you are leaving on Monday morning, you are going to be crying and giving your Facebook and your telephone number and everything that you can possibly do.
Asking them to be bridesmaids in your wedding.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not that anybody ever asked me to do that.
That actually happened, not bridesmaids, but when I went to my first convention, I knew nobody either. I just randomly decided at the dessert party that it was hug time, and I just started hugging everyone on the dance floor, and I made some really good friends that way. And Jackie I was introduced to at that convention too, and this time I was this flatty little 21-year-old, like,
Yes,
way
she
too
was.
loud of a mouth, and I ended up topless on stage with Claire Stansfield that year. That was fun. And anyway, 4 or 5 years later, Jackie and Anne, another Xenite, ended up being witnesses at my wedding to someone else that I met at XenaCon too. So, yeah, you can come knowing nobody, and you will know everyone by the end. And if you don't, tell me, and I'll make you find some friends.
And it sounds like if you're you may meet your spouse at XenaCon, or at the Xena Retreat now that we don't have the cons.
Well, we did joke about the reason that we're doing Xenite Retreat is because the XenaCon dating service has ended, and we have to keep getting lesbians together somehow.
True love amongst the Xenites.
Mm-hmm.
So another question that we were kind of wondering is what your sort of long-term vision is. Are you planning on continuing retreats on an annual basis like XenaCon, or how do you envision the event?
That would be wonderful. Don't you think? Let's retire and just do Xena.
So I want to retire and just do Xena retreats, yes. So we would like to do one. We would dream to do one in Australia. We would love to do one in Europe.
New Zealand.
New Zealand,
That would be
for
the best.
sure.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. we would love to travel and take them everywhere.
So buy tickets, and we'll do them wherever you want us to do them.
Basically, let's get this first one out of the way. I think it's going to be a success. I feel like it is already, just based on feedback and how excited we're all getting. But absolutely, we want to do these until we, get our heads chopped off and turned into dust and not tipped into a movie.
And then we get rebooted 20 years later in a new body. Could travel back in time and meet our old selves, but I think we said we wouldn't talk about the reboot today, and here I'm talking about it.
What? That's a dirty witch. No.
But I don't know. We'll see at the retreat if we know more information by then, so we can be over-analyzing it and speculating. So, so I wanted to ask if there's more details about the events and activities that you could share with us.
Sure.
Some more of the day-to-day stuff we'll be doing.
Let me get my schedule.
So I am looking forward to doing high ropes. We're going to have a high ropes course. There's going to be archery. They'll be laying by the pool and drinking if you so desire. What else do we have going on? Oh, softball. Don't forget about softball. We're going to have a softball tournament.
And softball's tradition. Those who haven't been to the XenaCons might not realize that. And then Penny, you're the organizer of the softball traditionally, aren't you?
Yeah. We've been doing softball since 2009.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
And the Warriors are winning 3-2.
Warrior versus Bard on the
we
softball.
call them syphilis.
Very fun.
And we're gonorrhea, apparently. Yes, so softball we're really excited about because it started off 2 teams, just like us running around hitting a ball. Actually, we had a huge turnout the first year. It was really exciting. We raised a lot. I think we raised almost $1,000 for Starship that year.
I thought it was
1,500. It was a lot more than we were expecting. We had like inflatable bats and we had all sorts of crazy things. So it's grown. Now we have 4 teams. We've added the Sarah Psychos and the Bitches for Rome as well. So it's going to be huge. We're actually doing the softball tournament over 2 days this year at the retreat. So and each team will get to play twice. So lots of fun. Let me find this.
Unfortunately, there will not be 20 people on a team like there has been.
Unfortunately, that's because Warriors need 20 people to win the damn game. When they have 20 people in the outfield, it's not hard to catch a ball, Jackie.
No, that's true.
So this is a disclaimer. This is a very rough schedule, and it's not going to reflect the actual schedule because we're actually giving the opportunity for the attendees to vote for their for the activities and events that they want to do. That way, anyone who has a ticket is able to vote, and that way the retreat is going to reflect exactly what is wanting to be done. So everyone will show up to their events. So basically, we have Xena Warrior Princess playing from the start of the retreat at 8 a.m. all the way through to the end of the retreat. It's going to be playing 24/7. I think we did the math and worked out we might get through most of the episodes if we skip those shit ones that no one cares about, like Married with Fish Sticks. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. So at any time, you can just go and plop down on the couch and watch some Xena. You never know, you might be sitting down next to Adrian Wilkinson because we're going to be doing some live episode commentaries, which basically involves Adrian sitting there, like we do you've seen the episode commentaries on the DVDs. It's like that, but she'll be right next to you, so you can do the old...
There you go. There you go.
So we've got, obviously we talked about the pledging, the allegiance ceremony. There's going to be the intimate performance, the intimate evening with Jacqueline Kim. That's going to be beautiful. She's just an incredible, incredible musician. So that will be wonderful. But in terms of actual activities, like the things that you can get dirty in, there's the hiking, which again Adrian is really excited about. She is ready to hike, and so is our other special guest, let me just say. You talked about archery. We've got an art room as well, so basically like a hut. It's like a little yurt, and you walk in and there's going to be pottery and painting and all sorts of stuff, so you can get creative and paint and draw and sculpt and basically whatever you want. And what else have we got? I'm really excited about the personal development courses that we're doing. Not to be biased, but they're being done by my mother. Who has
So of course she's not biased at all.
Not at all. She's actually very wonderful, very, very good at what she does. And they're called You the Conqueror, which I think works quite nicely with the Xenoverse, but Xena had nothing to do with naming the business. But my mom will, if you have a fear or a phobia or something in your life that is stopping you from being the absolute best that you can be, something that is scaring you from going out there and getting what you want, or just kind of living your life the way you feel that you should, she can fix it. She will spend some time with you. So the courses that she's going to be doing at Retreat are going to be based on like an introductory, an introduction to neuro-linguistic programming, which is NLP, which is, if you've ever heard of Anthony Robbins, that's a lot of the stuff that he does. I think that's going to be amazing, because I know that there are a lot of people out there, particularly in the Xenoverse, not to stereotype, but a lot of people that, you know, might be ladies that love ladies, that are not too sure that everyone's okay with ladies that love ladies. And so she can work with you in terms of coming out, being okay with yourself. If you're scared of spiders, she'll teach you how to get over that fear. So that's a really cool one that I think people will enjoy. Of course, we've got writers' workshops with the infamous Mary D. That will be pretty cool.
Yep.
Gosh, we've got a drumming workshop with Anne, one of the Xenites, who does what is it?
Find your spirit animal.
Discover your spirit animal, your power animal, and she's a shaman. So not the evil kind of alti shaman, but she's got a drum, and we did it the other night. It was quite cool, actually. We journeyed down to the lower world and found our spirit animals. You didn't find yours, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did? Of course you did. Yeah, my bad. Kat didn't find hers, my wife. That's that. Are you regretting you asked me this yet? Campfires, of course, s'mores.
Yeah.
We're talking about Cards Against Humanity. We're going to do some actual real-life person games of Cards Against Humanity.
Xena-themed.
Xena-themed, of course. Karaoke, because who doesn't love karaoke? We have yoga, Amazon boot camps, cooking, old school, like Xena and Gabrielle would have done. Stunt fight workshops, so if you want to learn how to fight like a stunt person. Just all sorts. There's so many things. And if you've got a ticket to the retreat, in about 2 weeks' time there's going to be a PDF that comes out, and that will detail all the events. We'll have the title of the event or activity, and then a short little blurb about what it involves, and then there'll be a link where you follow and you can vote for whatever you're interested in. So really it's up to you to make the retreat what you want it. So.
And keep in mind that the retreat ticket is all inclusive, so there's no extra fees. Everything is covered. So if you want to do high ropes, you want to do archery, that's all included in the price.
And food.
And food and alcohol.
Yeah. So, and alternatively, if you just want to chill by the pool and relax, you can do that too. So, yeah.
So, you've mentioned that there will be some charities that we can donate to. Do you have more information on what charities are going to be available that we can donate to? And I know Adrienne is behind one in particular.
Yeah, there's a couple. Do you want to talk about Adrienne?
So what Adrienne does, or what she has done in the past, is that she finds a family who's in dire straits, financial dire straits due to medical bills. And so the money that she raises, like at her charity event, her party that she had before the convention, that money went to that family to help them with their medical bills and payments. So she doesn't really have, as far as I know, one specific charity that she deals with. She picks somebody that's in need.
That's pretty awesome.
It is. It's amazing, actually. And then we've also got the Starship, which is obviously one of Lucy's preferred charities. All proceeds raised at the softball game will go to Starship. And then we're also supporting, well, there's one more charity that we can't talk about just yet.
We can't talk about that one yet.
But we'll get there.
And then the Harold Robinson Foundation?
Yes, Harold Robinson Foundation is actually one of the charities that is locally based in the Los Angeles area. Because we've been going to LA, well, I mean, depending on how long you've been going to conventions, for me, 2007, for Jackie, 2002, we spent a lot of time in Los Angeles. So it's going to be really cool to give back to that community. They are particularly affected by gang-related violence. And basically, the Canyon Creek, who founded this this charity, Howard Robinson, it's all about getting the gang members before they're gang members, while they're still kids. You know, they're put into these, what's the word in America where you've got housing associations specifically for projects?
Projects, yeah.
Projects. And the projects are all split up into the different areas of, and like there's turf wars and all that sort of stuff. So basically, the Harold Robinson Foundation takes the children from both of those projects, the warring projects, if you will, and puts them in a retreat together. Now the very first
they don't know where the other kids are coming from. They're coming in without any information.
They don't realize, that they've been put in with their enemies, and then they get to know each other and they have fun. And you know what it's like at retreat, or at summer camps, you know, you form these lifelong friendships, and so it's kind of getting these kids to become brothers before they go off and become brothers with people that, you know, that are in these gangs that fight. So they're basically trying to end the violence. And we thought that was quite fitting in terms of the show that we're all together watching. That's, I think, you know, we always say WWXD, what would Xena do? Well, I think this is exactly what she would do, is try and fix the problem before it's a problem. So I love that idea. So we're really excited to be promoting that charity and supporting them this year too.
Awesome. That's fantastic. And now we're going to turn to just a question from someone on the Xena movie campaign. Ariel Strauss asked, how does volunteering work at the retreat?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hi, Ariel. I love you, darling. So volunteering, there's a form that, if I don't know if Ariel signed up specifically, but there's a form that you can fill out. It's on the website. You put in who you are, what you're interested in, what you're passionate about, and just kind of a few things that you're willing to volunteer in. And then from there, we'll look at the schedule once it's been decided and say, okay, let's put, you know, Ariel over here doing the heavy lifting since she's such a muscle machine, and basically put you where you want to volunteer. That's the gist of it. We're going to try not to schedule too many people to be working too many hours, because we want everyone to have fun. So the more people that volunteer, the less work you actually have to do, and the more time you can enjoy. But we've got like a special green room for the volunteers where they can go in, and it's kind of like they can shut the door and have some drinks and relax and play some pool. But basically there's 5 of us running this retreat, and we'd love some people to help us out with hurting people. Getting things done. So yeah.
So what made you decide to give the Xenite Retreaters more of a free schedule rather than a set schedule that con goers might be used to?
Good question. Well, I think that when you go to the con, you kind of feel like in order to get your money's worth, you have to go to these different events, and the con is really centered on the actors. So a lot of the events, you're going to see the actors. Well, the retreat is centered around your friends. So if you want to just sit at the pool with your friends, then that's fine. That's what you need to do. If you want to go with, like Penny and I are going to go on the high ropes together. She's going to hold my hand. And and so if you want to do that, then you can do that. So it's more friend-centric than star-centric.
And I remember crying one year because someone was on stage that I'd never seen before. And I was so tired because I'd been so drunk the night before. I was actually probably still drunk looking back. And I was just like, and now this person's on stage and I have to go see them. And I remember someone saying, stop. You don't have to go see them. You can sleep. And I was like, are you crazy? Of course I have to go see them. So I ended up going in and bringing a pillow, and I actually ended up falling asleep in the convention hall. I don't know how I did it. But it was very stressful for me. this is more relaxed and just come and go, whatever you want. We wanted it to be fun.
Well, yeah, that Corzy and Ashley were at breakfast, and Hudson hit her finger in Corzy's ear because she had fallen asleep at the breakfast table.
Hudson would never do a thing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we answer the question?
Did we?
Yes, you did. You did.
Okay.
Forgot to say yes.
Our next question is, we know there's going to be an announcement at the end of this broadcast, but do you expect to have more guest announcements as we get closer?
Well, no, is the short answer. No. Based on the number of tickets that we have restricted it to, means that we do have a cut-off end of our budget. The reason we did that was because we wanted to make it small enough that everyone could kind of, it's the first one. We didn't know whether people were going to want to come, how we would be able to handle it. Now we're getting to the point, I think we've picked a good number of people to come along to the retreat so that by the end of it you should know everybody who's at the retreat. And in doing that, it meant that we were limiting ourselves in terms of the budget for everything, not just the special guests, but for everything, activities and whatnot. And I think that we've chosen to allocate the funds to the right places. Again, talking about this retreat is about the Xenites. That's why it's called the Xenite Retreat. So originally, we actually weren't going to have any celebrities at all. And I believe the first edition of the website even said that. There will be no celebrities. Don't expect it. And then it just so happened that we, stars aligned and we were like, well, we're not going to say no. So we thought, yeah, we're not. But it's not really going to be waiting in autograph lines and waiting in photo op lines and for your 30 seconds with this person and then it's done. I mean, no, instead, you get to stand next to them in archery and, hit a bullseye and be like, yeah, good shot, Adrian. You're really going to be hanging out with them on a peer-to-peer level as opposed to a celebrity level. So we wanted to make sure that we kept that. And I think if we had more celebrities or more stars or whatever you want to call them, we would lose a lot of that because we would have to be, worried about what was going on and making sure that they were looked after as well. So we think that we've got a good number. So I think everyone.
And our celebrities, our special guests, are really, really excited to be coming.
Oh yeah.
They are true Xena fans also, as opposed to just being celebrities. They're really happy about coming.
Yeah, they are. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And I had a follow-up question about the celebrities. So since we aren't doing autograph lines, we aren't doing professional photo ops, we're just hanging out with them. So this isn't really the time to be treating them like celebrities, I guess. Like, how would you recommend we interact with them, especially if someone's new and, hasn't met Adrian before and is really starstruck by her?
Yeah, I really appreciate that question actually, because it's something that we've been talking about a lot in our group. How do we deal with this situation? Because I remember the first time that we met. I don't know about you, but when we met the celebrities for the first time, I was just like,
yeah, gobsmacked.
And then you go through all these different things, and then you can't shut up, and then you say stupid things, and then you just want to die, and it's a really overwhelming experience because you're meeting these people that mean so much to you. And I think the season con goers kind of know how to interact, how to be respectful of, personal space. But for someone who hasn't before, I think basically just kind of, it's hard to say treat them like a normal person, because when a show means as much to you as it does to all of us, it's very difficult to do that. So I'd say just breathe a lot. Jacqueline Kim was actually going to be teaching us some breathing exercises at the beginning of the retreat. Because it will be a very overwhelming experience, and so I think she'll be showing us, how to refocus and recenter and deal with the excitement. Just because we're not doing official photo ops and autographs doesn't mean there's a rule of no photos and no autographs. Absolutely, you can. If I was sitting next to Jackie and we're making s'mores and they were delicious and I wanted to capture the moment, I'd be like, Jackie, smile and take a photo. The only difference here would be, I guess you would turn and say, Jackie, do you mind if we took a photo? and they're humans. You know, they're pretty normal too. They'll say yes or no. They'll be fine either way. It's just be mindful of if it looks like they're being swarmed, just wait a little bit. Or I mean, hopefully they won't be. But we've got a couple of people who will be looking after them. So if someone needs to step in and say settle down, they will. I don't think it will get to that. But yeah, we'll just there's going to be plenty of opportunity.
I think people will be very surprised and pleased on how down to earth Adrian and Jacqueline are. I'm careful. I'm being careful. And how down to earth they are and how approachable they are. And if anybody's been to Adrian's charity event, she really goes out of her way to make sure that she talks to everybody and that she takes pictures, and so she's really very kind and makes sure that people get taken care of. I think that'll be happening at the retreat too. Yeah, I think if we're all around campfires, Adrian and our other special guests are going to be making their way around to make sure that they spend time with everybody, doing different kinds of activities too, so that depending on what you're interested in, you should get some time with them. But there is a reason that we call them special guests and not celebrities, and that's because, I mean, really everybody who comes to the retreat is a special guest, quite honestly. We're just we needed a name for them, and we pick special guests because we don't want them to be seen as celebrities, or they're Xenites. Mm-hmm. Is what it boils down to, I think.
So don't act like the paparazzi and follow them around.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. But just like you'd ask your friend, "Oh, do you mind if I take a selfie?" And your friend would probably say yes. Adrian probably would say yes.
Treat them like fellow beloved Xenites, like we do with all the other Xenites.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. So turning to another, I think perhaps the most important question of this whole broadcast is from Wanda Chauvinek, and she asks, Hi Wanda, can we bring our own bottles of wine, or will wine already be available? This not wine.
No. If you're going to bring wine, it has to be in a wine skin, because this is a fucking Xena event. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you can bring your own alcohol. Sure, why not? The more the merrier. All we ask is that people drink responsibly. It's an over 21. No, it's not. It's an over 18 event. So we will be tagging those under 18s, and we will be aware of them. So if you don't give alcohol to a minor, it's bad. It's not okay. Xena would not approve. But yeah, you can bring your own alcohol. There will be alcohol provided. We're not going to be providing like Patron or any of those. We're not going to kill you, but it'll be, house wine, basic beers, the basics. If you want more, Bonnie and Michelle, I know right now, they're like, oh, we got alcohol already. Yeah. You don't have to bring alcohol. Just go to Bonnie and Michelle's cabin. They've got a whole bar probably stocked up. Yeah, and Jay, okay, I have to tell this story. I'm sorry. This is just kind of how Xenites are, right? Okay, 1 year. Sitting in Hudson's panel, and if you've never been to a convention before, at the end of Hudson's panel, she auctions her dress off, and it goes to the the James Ellis Foundation. And I've always thought, oh God, it'd be good to bid on the dress. I don't want to win it because I can't afford to, but I'd love to bid on the dress just one time. So I go in and I go and sit next to Jay, Miss Savannah Blue, and Kim Roselle, who is no longer with us, but she was there as well. And I was like, oh, what have you got there? They had alcohol. It was like 9 in the morning. And they had these little, what is that Californian wine, Sutter Home?
Yeah.
Sutter
There's
Home.
one called Sutter Home.
And I was like, oh, can I have some? I've never tried a Californian wine before. She was like, yeah, sure. So she gives me a bottle. And I down it really quickly. And I was like, can I have another one? Because that's what you do at con. And so I drank again. And then it gets to the bidding of the dress. And I am drunk. And so Hudson, that's how I won the dress, because I was drunk. And so, no, you know what I did? Before the bidding, I went up to ask a question. And I gave a little, preface, and I said, I'm just drunk right now, so I hope I don't sound like an idiot, but blah, 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 I asked my question. And Hudson was like, thanks, Penny. Then I go and sit down, and we get to the bidding. She opens up the bidding, and I leap off my chair, shove my hand in the air, and say, $600! And Hudson's like, oh, good, $600 to the drunk girl in the back row. And it was like, and then I couldn't stop. And then Linda and Tarina, who are just two wonderful Xenites, they stood up, and I was like, sit down, you don't want this dress, sit down, they don't want your money. And they said, we don't want to outbid our friend, but we do want to contribute to the charity, so we would like to add another $600 onto Penny's bid. And then all of a sudden, all these people are like, I'll add $20, I'll add this, I'll add that. And it was this like huge, amazing feeling. Everyone was giving money, and I was like, I get a dress. I got the dress. I won the dress. It was very exciting because I was drunk. So there's a lesson in what alcohol can do for you.
Makes you more generous.
Just another example of what it's going to be like at the retreat. Like these are the people that are coming. These fun people that will give you liquor at 9 a.m. and yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So yes, bring alcohol. Bring as much as you want.
So we just have a few questions left before we get to the big announcement. And one of the questions that we had was why you decided to make this a non-profit event, since those who've been to the XenaCons are probably aware that it's a for-profit company. So what motivated you to be donating your time to this event and to the community?
I don't feel it would be fair to take a profit when the profit. This is going to sound really lame. Okay, let me just preface that. The profit is hanging out and making new friends and becoming family with people. And I really only started this because I wanted to do high ropes again. So.
Oh no. So, for it to be nonprofit is just what the Xeniverse does. We wanted to make sure that we gave back to the universe who gives so much to us.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Does it sound funny?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it sounds funny. Do you think it sounds funny?
That right to the feels. Those were good answers.
No, it's true though. It really is true. That's why we're doing it. That's why we've done the after parties for the end of conventions every year. It's not to make money. We never make money on those after parties. We've been out of pocket actually quite a few times, and it's because we want to put it on for the people. That's what this is all about: making friends, seeing old friends, raising money for charity. Like that's the message of the show. That's what
we do.
Carrying forward. Yeah.
But before I ask the question that I have next, I want to build on what you're saying. So you just heard why they're doing it and why it's going to be nonprofit and that they're getting, the joy of spending time. So more volunteers are needed. Sign up. Help her do this. Help them do this. We gotta pitch in. So we have another question from Annabella Ferrone. She said she missed the beginning, and she wants to know where the Xenite Retreat is going to be and how much it's going to cost.
Good question, Annabella. Let's just pause while my wife gets home from work. Hi, darling. Hello.
Hi, darling. Hello.
Hi, Kat.
Hello. Kat's been at work all day. So, Xenite Retreat is going to be held in California, in Canyon Creek, which is about an hour away from Burbank, correct? An hour from Burbank, in the Angeles Mountains. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you go to our website, www.xeniteretreat.com, every single piece of information that you care to know, and probably some that you don't really care about, is on there. I can give you a little bit more of the information now, but as you start reading about it or hearing about it, you're going to get more questions. The website is your source of information. That FAQ page, I mean, we spent hours thinking, like, what are people going to ask us? What can we come up with to answer? So that's where it is. What was the other part of that question?
Cost.
The cost? Okay. So a ticket costs $630. Now, that includes your accommodation, so your bedding, your cabin,
food,
all your food, and we're not talking typical camp-style food. We're talking
we have
salad
a gourmet
bars.
chef.
There's a gourmet chef. We're actually chatting with her this week sometime to bed down the menu. We are going to be very, very aware of people's dietary restrictions and requirements, and that's actually part of the sign-up form. So
if you're
vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, celiac, all of the above, we will look after you and your dietary requirements. It also includes all the activities and events, all the interactions with the special guest, like everything. There is the only thing that you will have to, that we're going to be doing massages on site, again, if they're voted for, and that would be an additional cost because we're bringing in a professional masseuse. And then you can bring your own bedding, pillow, blanket, and sheet, or you can pay an extra $20 on top of that to be given that. The softball registration is free, like it's all free, it's all included. So $630 covers everything. You just have to get yourself to the retreat. There's also the
Jackie.
There's also the Argo Express, and that will take you. We're doing 2 pickup locations in Burbank. One is at the Los Angeles
Quality Inn, and one is
Quality Inn.
The Marriott.
Yeah, the Marriott, Burbank Marriott, and the Argo Express is $60, and that's a return ticket, so that gets you there and back.
Well, I was going to say that the fact that it includes food and beverages alone, I feel like, that's really worth the ticket price. That's taking a huge expense, that's very costly when we go to XenaCon, and I really appreciate that you're including that.
Oh, absolutely. And, that was something that we were very, very conscious of when deciding the ticket price, because every other camp that I've seen for what we're offering, you're paying in excess of $1,000. But again, like you said, we're non-profit. We're not here to make a bunch of money on it. We're here to make sure as many people as possible can come to this, what we like to call a family reunion. And so you just mentioned that the soda is all included as well, and that's soda, water, even alcohol. We've got alcohol included, cake, like all of it. It's all inclusive because we want you to come and have fun and not be worried about money. You used to pay for a convention. You would get your gold ticket or even your silver tickets, plus the cost of your hotel room, and then food on top of that. I mean, I basically saved all year to go to con.
For a weekend, for what we're on.
For a weekend.
Yeah.
And we're doing the same for the price of a ticket, basically.
Gold ticket.
Yeah.
So. Well, I don't know about everyone else, but by the end of the XenaCon, I probably spent 3 times as much as what you all are charging. So it's really awesome that this event is relatively affordable compared to what we're used to. That's really awesome.
For sure. So you've given us all of this very exciting information, and I just cannot wait. But there was one more big announcement that you wanted to make. So unless you have any other information you'd like to share with us before, we're all kind of dying to know because we don't know yet. So please.
I don't think there's a big announcement.
No, there's no announcement.
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
It's all fake out. Okay, cool.
It was just a ploy to get viewers. Sorry, everyone.
That's right, yeah. All right, so, in Xena, at the beginning of the episode, when, the credits run and there's that voiceover and it's like, in a time of ancient gods, warlords, and kings, and you know the rest. Well, the guy that did that voiceover is actually going to be at Retreat. I'm joking. I'm just fucking with you. She's been practicing there all day.
Okay, you had me going. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that guy was still with us.
Oh my goodness, my face to me. No, okay, so how do we explain this special guest? One of the most well-loved people in the Xenoverse, definitely. Fun, so freaking crazy fun that you're going to be like, who is this person and why is she so crazy? So, okay, let's just come out with it and let you know who is coming to the Xenite Retreat. Our final guest for the year is the one and only amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, talented Brittney Powell.
Yay!
She's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And I gotta tell you, she is excited. Like, we were explaining about the event and what there was, and we said, campfires and s'mores, and Brittney was like, s'mores? There's going to be s'mores? S'mores? So, like, she is ready to get down and dirty. She wants to go on hikes. She wants to go fishing as well. I don't know. I'm not a fishing fan, but, like, she has picked out all the events she wants. She's already submitted her vote. She's staying the whole weekend. It's going to be...
She's staying on the grounds the entire weekend.
Yeah. Which means that no one's going to be forcing her to go to bed. So she's going to be up at 4 a.m. partying, and yeah. Nikki right now is watching this being like, woo! Yeah, she's a lot of fun, so we're really excited.
That's really exciting because Brittney is really fun, and I admit I'm looking forward to being able to interact with her without her creation handlers.
Oh, absolutely.
She's just a blast. And so Brittney also had some charity involvements, and she's known for auctioning her bras off. So will this tradition continue?
It absolutely is going to continue, but we're going to put a twist on it because this is new. It's not a convention. We don't want to kind of do the same thing. We want to kind of breathe some new life into it. So actually the other night we were practicing. We're going to be doing bra slingshot competitions. So you can provide a bra or you can bring your own
Gabrielle
bra.
is whizzing past my head.
We were like trying all the different objects to propel. We tried socks. We tried a little mini Gabrielle doll. We tried M&Ms. So we had like two people holding the bra, and then we pulled it back and launched it, and the damn dog was going after everything. And yeah,
you will be
fun.
surprised how far you can propel a Gabrielle doll with a bra.
Yeah, and if you listen really quietly, you can hear. So yes, we're going to be doing a bra slingshot competition. Brittney will be there judging, and the winner of that will win her bra. And like in all the other years, you get to take it off, and all the money will go to the Desi Geistman Foundation, which is the charity that Brittney's. Look at your face, Rose. You're like, oh yeah, better practice. Yeah,
I'd be.
Yeah, you all better practice your one-handed bra unclasp if you're hoping you'll be the lucky Xenite.
Maybe do a Joy Tribbiani and just look at it. But yeah.
Well, that's very cool. I'm really excited to see Brittney, and she's just a blast. I think she's going to have a really good time with us as well.
That's basically what she's saying. And, I think people... I just want to share a story that I experienced at the last convention, where I overheard a couple of people who had never been to a convention before, and they were trying to plan their schedule, and they said, oh, well, we're not sure, like, they didn't know who Brittney was, and they thought, we're not really going to we're not going to go to that panel, and I stopped, and I was like, whoa. Did you just say you weren't going to Brittney's panel? And they were like, yeah. I was like, you need to be there. You need to trust me. You need to be there, and you need to bring at least $5. They were like, why? I'm like, just trust me. You're welcome. So I never saw them, so I don't know if they went, but I'm going to assume that they did. But, yeah, Brittney just kind of walked on stage in, 2007? And we were all like, Brunhilde. Okay, Brunhilde.
Okay, good.
Cool. She was in, 2 episodes, and then voiceover?
2 episodes, yeah, and a voice.
Yeah, and she's, she's incredible, but Brunhilde wasn't really a huge character. So for her to become so popular in the Xenoverse is a huge testament to who she is as a person. She really embraced our fandom. She's wonderful.
She's very vivacious and warm. She's just a wonderful person.
We're so excited to have Brittney on board the whole weekend. She is so cheeky. She's such a firecracker. I think she's gonna cause me some trouble, actually. I might have to have a couple of handlers around.
The handlers probably will be to protect us from Brittney because she'll be having so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, that was it for our questions. Was there anything else from the retreat that you wanted to tell us that you didn't get to say?
Well, thank you guys so much for having us. I'm really glad that we have this chance to kind of share what's going on what it is, because I know a lot of people don't really know too much about the retreat. Follow our Twitter and our Facebook, because we're blasting out all sorts of stuff, and big thank you to Natalie Listini for helping us out there as well. We're putting out as much as we can. We'd love you to join us. There are absolutely still tickets available. www.xeniteretreat.com. Our Twitter is @XeniteRetreat. So yeah, just come and follow us, ask more questions if you want. And did you want to say anything?
Nope.
No, we're good?
I think that you're going to have a good time if you come.
The best
It'll be
time.
the best time.
We're
Yeah.
going to be hooked.
We talked
Very
Rose into
exciting.
it.
Yeah, Rose is coming. What?
Yeah. I was on the fence. They talked me. I couldn't say no. I had to be there. So I'm just so excited.
They put the pinch on you. They're like,
They
you have 30
did.
seconds or less to buy your
Yeah.
ticket.
Yep.
Actually, I just have one more thing to say, and that's a big thank you to our Xenite Retreat team, the crew behind this project that has been working tirelessly for more than a year now. Sam Silver, Ash Stevens, Natalia, I'm not even going to try and say your last name, Lane, same thing, Sarah Lusterborg, Nikki Eberhardt, and you, Jackie. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
we owe a great deal to Penny, because without her insight and go-gettedness, it wouldn't be happening. So we owe Penny a great deal too.
And all of you who are coming, because if you didn't buy tickets, this wouldn't be happening. So, like, big love fest. Thank you to everybody. Let's go have some fun in April.
All right. Well, with that, we will end the broadcast, and thank you all for watching. And if you missed the beginning, the archive will be on YouTube, and we'll link it on our page. I'm sure Xenite Retreat will link it on their page. So I hope to see you all in person in April.
Woohoo!
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.